Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. In the last episode, we stormed the iconic castle and we fought the King of Icona, and then we learned the Elegy of Emptiness. And this episode we are going to, well, we do have to get into the Stone Tower Temple, the last dungeon, but to get into there we actually have to press on the switches here and, just create more of the statues to keep them pressed down. Because that's basically what we did at the end of the last episode, is do the whole tower climb to get to here just by pressing on switches. Well, we gotta do more of those, and, well, just to get into the, get inside the temple itself, because, that's what it wants us to do. But, it's actually just the only way to get into it, just by playing the Elegy of Emptiness, so that's what it is. As you can see here, you can see that I actually reset back to the dawn of the first day. That's because that the Stone Tower Temple, it is long. Like, it is without a doubt the longest dungeon in the entire game. And so, because of that, I feel like that, well, I mean, then again, probably still have plenty of time anyway, like, regardless, but I kind of feel like, just feel more comfortable, and probably is a good idea to do so anyway, just in case, you never know. I went ahead and just, restart a new cycle. And that way there, I just feel comfortable. I'll just be able to have, a shit ton of time to get this, dungeon done and over with. So, that's the reason why, because of how long it is, and, just want to, feel content knowing that I'll have plenty of time for this one, because, like I said, it's long. It's a pretty lengthy one, but anyways, welcome to the Stone Tower Temple, and this is without doubt, my absolute favorite dungeon in the entire game. I love this one so much. I would say, it's very much perfectly designed. It's got, it's got a great mechanic in it as well, and, it's something that really tests your knowledge the most. Like, it's still, I mean, it's still, puzzle-based, because, there's still plenty of puzzles thrown in the mix, but it doesn't really gravitate too much on the, on the complexity, like with, like the Great Bay Temple, because, like I said, it is challenging, but, it's still good, it's still feel-good kind of challenging, with the puzzles and all that. Because, for one thing, it is long, but, I'd say it's a dungeon that's well designed, and, with the mechanic as well. And, it really does a great job with that. And yeah, and also I will say, though, that, as much as I actually really do enjoy the dungeon, the Stray Fairy collect-a-thon is a little more confusing than previously. Because, Because, basically involves, like, having to do the first part of the Stone Tower Temple just by getting all the stray fairies, because, like I said, we are still going after all the stray fairies, because, that's what I had to do. I mean, part of the 100% completion, just get that one upgrade, which is actually, something that, it is actually very cool, but there's something a little iffy about that, but more on that later. But, yeah, the stray fairies are, there's going to be a lot of those to look for. Like, we have to go through this first section to look for them, and then we have to go through another section of the Stone Tower Temple to get more of the stray fairies. And then we go back to the first one just to get the remaining one of those. So, yeah, the stray fairies are probably, without the most confusing to look for, and you really want to make sure to memorize where they're all located. Otherwise, yeah, you're probably going to need a guy for this. That real bomb shoe looked a little derpy there. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of real bomb shoes everywhere, so you want to make sure to just kill them all, because, they, because, like, the minute they see you, they do freak out and they try to come after you as well. Because, first part of it, there's just litter everywhere. So, yeah, if you see any bomb shoes, or the real bomb shoes, then you just want to make sure to kill them first. Which, kind of think of it, though, I mean, we even see the real bomb shoes. I noticed I never even got the, the mechanical bomb shoe as an item. It does exist in this game, though. I mean, you actually can't buy them as early in this game, though, but you don't legitimately get it until, like, well, towards the tail end of the game. Which, I mean, we probably will, hopefully, later on, because, I mean, it is going to be required at some point. But, And, yeah, like I said, playing the, creating copies of the statues actually depends on the weight. So, yeah, you can see that, that there's that giant switch here. You're going to need Gorling for this one, because he's the fattest and heaviest. But yeah, he also, but you wouldn't be able to use the statue of Deku-Link, because Deku-Link is the lightest and absolutely the weakest, and will not do jack shit. So, yeah, which is weird though, because you're picking up these crates and they actually work well on these switches here. So I don't know what the correlation is, but anyway, so yeah, to go a bit more about about why, yeah, the Stone Tower Temple is my absolute favorite dungeon this way, not only because it does a good job with the designs and all that, but, I also gotta say, the music. I mentioned this in the last episode. My god, I fucking love this track. It is, my absolute Well, I don't know if I probably should say, you know, my absolute favorite dungeon theme in the entire Zelda series, but there's probably like plenty of other dungeon themes I do particularly enjoy in other different Zelda games, um, but I would say it's probably more accurate to say that this is my absolute favorite dungeon theme in this game by far. Because, you know, it sounds, you know, it's the mystery behind it all. Like, you know, it sounds so mysterious and all that. And, you know, one thing I gotta say, though, that, you know, I actually was reading a comment from one of these, like, you know, when you listen to this track on YouTube, I think it was on, let me think, it was on Gilva Center's old channel, like, you know, before Nintendo took it down, but, it was basically, you know, when you listen to the legit, Nintendo soundtracks, you know, not like Self Gunner, where you just, hear all those, interesting, rips from everything, but the original Gilva Center, like, you know, it kind of goes a little backwards. Oh, yeah, by the way, folks, I actually made a couple recording attempts, here, and on one of them, I actually went pretty far, but I completely forgot there was a stray fairy right there, so... Yeah, don't forget to look around, and you see there's that target marker. Don't forget to hookshot on there and get that stray fairy, because that's the one thing that always stumps many players when they go through the Stone Tower Temple. But yeah, if you're going after all the stray fairies, it's best to actually use a guide here. Also, and yeah, I'm pausing myself on this again, but you know, there's more enemies to talk about here. These guys are here, returning for these the armor statues. Don't touch it. Blow before he wakes, please. But yeah, they're these armor statues. Well, I mean, I was gonna say just like an Ocarina of Time, but I mean, they've been around like since I would say A Link to the Past was their debut. But yeah, they were exactly the same in Ocarina of Time, where you know, well, they portrayed this way, but they always work with every other Zelda game. So like, if you touch them, they start waking up and they'll come after you. So you have to hit them again, and then they'll spin around. Spastically, and then they explode. You can actually just avoid the explosions just by crouching as Goron Link, or just using the shield in general. But yeah, and also if you see these lava pits, then yeah, you want to play as Goron Link, because Goron Link is completely immune to all the lava here. And this is where we'll be getting our dungeon map right here. But anyway, so to go back a bit on the one comment on that old Gilva Center track, or was it the other one? I think it was the Brawl BSTRM, or however you say it, which was also unfortunately taken down by the copyrights from Nintendo, which is unfortunate. But I remember seeing this one comment that, you know, that perfectly describes this track here and what Link goes through, and I wholeheartedly agree. And you know, even before I saw the comment, that's actually what I was thinking. Like, you know, when I was first playing this game, and I was listening to this track, and I know how good this track was because it's how it was. But like, you know, to actually describe the track itself and how much it reflects that, you know, Link has been through so much shit. You know, and Ocarina of Time, where you know he's lost so many things, like especially after you know, after the whole plan to like, you know how when he first started collecting the spiritual stones in the hopes of and also the Ocarina of Time itself in the hopes of keeping Ganondorf away from the Triforce, and then, you know, the Gate of Time was open, and so he pulled out the Master Sword. Unfortunately, though, because he was too young to actually wield the Master Sword, because he was at the age of 9, and I guess there must have been the age requirement, and so, you know, he was placed in this magically induced coma for 7 years until his body aged up enough to be able to wield the Master Sword and be the hero of time because of the age requirement. Unfortunately for him, though, since the whole process of actually opening up the gate to the Sacred Realm, turned out that Ganondorf was secretly following Link the whole time, and so since the Gate of Time since the Sacred Realm was open, and with Link being placed in a coma, they actually allowed Ganondorf free access to the Sacred Realm itself, so that way there he can touch the Triforce and make his wish to conquer Hyrule. Well, of course, only the Castle Town, though, because he couldn't get the full Triforce, only the Triforce of Power. And so that was where everything went down. Well, not just for Link, but also for, well, I guess for everybody else, though, but most likely with Link, though, because, you know, I mean, you know, because he managed to lose a lot of things. You know, there's the fact that, well, I mean, it is to be theorized that that sages apparently died in the temples, and so they well, as soon as Link reawakens them as the sages, and well, I mean, it was said that they had to stay in the Sacred Realm, which honestly sucks though, because that would have been, you know, that means they can't go back to their everyday lives, and it'd also be boring for them as well, because they were saying they had to stay in the Sacred Realms. I mean, I can only hope that wasn't the case though, because I mean, later games like A Link Between Worlds actually kind of contradict this. But yeah, there was that. But there are theories that it may or may not be true though about the sages dying before they actually awaken as sages. But some of those couldn't actually really support this though. But I mean, that's what people theorize. But either way though, so Link actually loses a lot of things, and and not just that though, but even after he defeated Ganondorf, and so Zelda sends Link back to his old time, so that way there he can actually reclaim those 7 years that he was robbed of, and go back to relive his childhood. He realized that he can't really go back to Kokiri Forest anymore, because I mean because I guess maybe things wouldn't really be the same, and I mean among other things, and so he goes back to Zelda and to basically warn her of what Ganondorf's going to do, and that would lead to him getting arrested, and this kind of kickstarts the events of Twilight Princess. But then we get to this game, and then he goes around to Termina, and there's he sees all the emotional trauma that goes on with pretty much everybody else, and he shares their pain as well, and all this, and and I'm pretty sure that Link is going through this mental kind of this mental stage going on here, and when he reaches the Stone Tower Temple, he's come so far, and considering everything he's been through, I do think this music actually kind of does reflect that with what Link goes through. And despite all what he goes through as well, despite everything that's happened to him, the only thing that actually keeps him going is just his heroic spirit. He's still determined to continue going, and he doesn't give up at all. He just keeps on going, and everything that's happened, you think he would just quit while he was ahead, but he just still keeps going, and there's actually a lot more worse things to come. And I guess you can also support the idea that with all the things that happened to him and how much he came to regret with everything, and how he wouldn't be able to pass on his knowledge to everybody else. I think that very much what leads to what happens to him in Twilight Princess. With the whole thing being the hero shade and all that. I know I'm kind of jumping the gun a bit here, because that's actually something to talk about whenever we do get to Twilight Princess, but it's actually a good idea to talk about it here now, because of and also for the fact that he also lost Navi, like after Ocarina of Time, that Navi just ditches him, and so that's why he sets out to go search for her. But there's also that kind of that idea as well. So but considering what happens after Majora's Mask, and how what transpires in his mind, all his lingering regrets and all that, and so that's how what leads to him being the hero shade in Twilight Princess. Then that actually that very much supports all the stuff that happens. And so like I said, I really do think this music actually does reflect all of what Link goes through, and with everything he has to like how far he's come, and It really does a good reflection of it. And I really got to give it to Koji Kondo for all this, because Koji Kondo, man, that's why he's amazing, because any of the tracks he makes really does reflect any kind of certain situations of things, and it actually reflects on those aspects, or those kind of events, and yeah, Koji Kondo, he's really amazing at that. He really does a good job with the musical tracks there, and how it reflects everything, any kind of situation that happens. He really is amazing at that. And that's also the reason why I fucking love Majora's Mask soundtrack. It's my absolute favorite soundtrack in the entire Zelda series. I will say this that much though. Just everything about it, and especially with this dungeon theme. That's why I love it so much. It really does a good job and all that. But yeah, I kind of went on for so long, but that's actually what I've read, and it actually goes to show how much I actually respect and agree with this whole kind of sentiment from that comment I saw on YouTube, and that's exactly what my thoughts were. So that's the whole thing. What I think. I mean, some of you guys might think differently though, but that's my kind of theory with how this music reflects, and how much Link has to go through, because I mean. Because Link, this incarnation of Link is probably, I would say, the most tragic that he has to go through. Well, but him being the hero of time and all that, with him himself, it has to be probably the most tragic one, and actually it does show, like, especially in the case of Twilight Princess, you know, see the whole end result and all that. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this here. And here's what I want to talk about, though. The goddamn camera angle. Look at this. So, like, I don't know what was going on, but, like, you know, I was trying to position the camera back to behind Link, but because he was kind of paragliding backwards here, the camera just kind of screwed itself over. Like, it just glitched out. It really must be a glitch here, because I kept on trying to press the Z button to position it back, and it won't do anything at all. Like, it's still in the it's still in this widescreen mode. Like, you know, if you press and hold the Z button, and then it actually still goes in the in this widescreen mode, and it doesn't go away at all, no matter what. So that must have been a glitch here. This camera angle just being absolutely wonky here. So yeah, I don't know what the whole deal is. Anyway, so yeah, I had to go and yeah, there's that one puzzle just having to go there. Yeah, you want to make sure to hit the switch as Goron Link. Be very careful as you paraglide over because of all these lava pits. Because remember, Deku Link is flammable. So so if he takes like one single step into the lava pits, then he immediately goes in flames. So yeah, we want to be careful with that. Anyway, so you have to make sure I get all 6 of the straight fairies to get far. Alright, so we'll go ahead and head through the store here, and well, I want to make sure that well, I was hoping I get arrows, but I got rupees instead. So go to this doorway, and then that's where we get to see mini boss. Oh, hello there. All right, folks. So this mini boss here, this is the Garo Master, and so he's basically the leader of all the Garos here, and well, we finally get to meet him here. So let's go ahead and fight him. Can't fight him like an ordinary Garo, just dodgy sword. So yeah, basically what Tattle's getting at is that unlike with all the other Garo leaders, even if you try to use your shield against his when he charges you with the swords, he never loses his sword at all. He still holds on to them, and also his swords are on fire. So you know so he uses fire-based attacks, and you know and so Link will actually catch on fire for that. You can actually get rid of flames just by rolling over, which actually gets rid of those because if he still catches flames, it actually drains his health. And yeah, I actually get knocked back over there because I could have sworn I tried to press the R button to ready my shield, and it didn't even work at all, and so Link still got knocked back. So whenever he drops down, and so he kind of just looks around to see where you are after he does his attacks. And so while he's looking around, that's your chance to attack him. So get around behind him, and then slash at him with your sword, just like that here. And yeah, that's basically how different he is, because you know he can't really stare back. Just he doesn't really lose his swords at all. So just just lather, rinse, repeat the process, and then it should be fine. And also in the 3DS version of this game, this is actually what the Garo Mask looked like. So there we go. And now he's done. To think I could be defeated, although my rival, you were spectacular. I shall take my bow by opening my heart and revealing my wisdom. If you shoot that which releases the sacred golden light into the bloodstained red emblem outside the temple, it shall rearrange things, in which the earth is born in the heavens, and the moon is born on the earth. Do not forget these words. Die I shall, leaving no corpse. That is the law of us Garo. And yep, that's what it is, because they had to die there. But yeah, this is actually what the Garo Mask looks like in the 3DS version. Which, you know, like I said, I actually am glad they changed here. You know, it's more so of a correction than an outright change, because it's supposed to be based off the Garo Master, but they still use the regular books. So I'm actually glad the 3DS version actually kind of corrects this one. Anyway, so we have the light arrows. We got all 3 of the element arrows, and so you'll be using this one a lot for this one. Well, actually, not so much a lot, though, but it's actually very important to us for this dungeon here. And we actually get it early, though, because it was originally used to storm Ganon's castle in Ocarina of Time and to defeat Ganon himself, but no, it actually has more of a use than before. Keep in mind, guys, this dungeon is where you actually have to use your magic meter a lot, so that's why I got a lot of green potions. And, you know, it's recommended to have a Chateau Money with you, so... Anyways, next time on Let's Play Majora's Mask, we're going to continue on the Stone Tower Temple and see what the light arrows can be used for. So I will see you guys next time.